In your paper pack, you will find this sheet. On the back, it looks like this. Our first cut, we're going to do at, say, 7.5. Let's measure over 7.5 inches and cut. Place this in reserves. Now measure over 6 inches and cut. Alrighty, so we're going to stick this off to the side. If you notice, we have a page 11, we have a short page 12, and a larger back to our back cover, which would be our page 13. This is going to be for page 13, so we're going to set that off to the side. And we will work with this. Cut a piece of cardstock that is 8.5 inches by 5 inches, and I'm going to get into this punch, and this is our dotted scallop. It's the larger punch, deep edge, and we're going to punch along the long side. When I do this, I'm going to place this so this middle scallop will be in the middle of this, so I just want to make sure that I have the same overhang on each side before punching. Alright, let's grab some score tape, and we're going to do a pocket here, and we will place it at the bottom of our page. Make sure that score tape's down, and we will do this the same way that we've been doing regular pockets. Give this a little bend there, bring it down, and we will wrap our edges around the back and tack that down. Grab this back out of your reserves, measure over 7.5 inches and cut. Put this back in your reserves. Now all we're going to do is measure to fit. So I'm just going to place this down underneath my scallops here. And I can move it over a little bit so I can see where the bottom of my page is. I'll make a pencil mark and cut. Stick this in your reserves, apply glue, and glue that down. Now I have this stretch lace, this one, and I'm going to measure a piece to fit across, and I'm going to glue that down, making sure that it's glued all the way down, even under this part. Get this back out of reserves, and we want this one, and we are going to cut around to clean that up, and then we're going to glue it down to white cardstock, and then we will cut around that. Okay, I got mine mounted to white cardstock, and I'm just going to add a little glue here. And I will place it down at the bottom so that it makes a little bit of a pocket there. I'm going to grab my last little bird cage here, and I'll put a little glue off to the side like that, and I'm going to place that right here. I have a little bouquet that I cut, and that has sky blue on it, and to the left of the bird cage, I'm just going to glue that right on down there. I'm going to grab a flat back pearl, use my hot glue, and I'm just going to stick it right here at an angle, just like that. Now this page is going to take a minute to dry when I'm done, but I am going to add stickles, and it's the crystal, lightly around the outside circle here, a little on here, and I'm also going to do it up and over here. So I'll show you what mine looks like in just a moment. I am done adding my stickles. As you can see, I have some on the scallops, my bird cage, and around here. And as soon as this dries, I can flip it over, put score tape on the back, and mount this in my book. We're on page 12. It's our short page. And in your paper pack, you will find this print. On the back, it is blue. Measure over 4.5 inches and cut. The larger piece goes in our reserves. Measure over 6 inches and cut. Stick this off in our reserves. Now also in your reserves, you're going to find that small square piece that was the trimming off our pocket for our other page. If you notice that this would be a perfect fit here for that. So let's get a piece of cardstock ready for this. Cut a piece of cardstock that is 4 5/8 of an inch by 6 inches. And we're not going to do any punching on this one. We're going to lay our score tape at the bottom, and we will just mount a regular pocket here with just making sure you have some flaps on each side. And we will wrap these back behind and tack them down. Okay, apply glue to this and mount that. And you'll have a little bit of a white border up there. And this is what you should have. And this is actually, the short page is page 12. The other side of the short page is 13. And this large piece that we're holding is 14. So, kind of messed up on my pages when we were doing that. Okay, this is actually complete. We're not going to do anything else to it. We'll flip it over, put our score tape around the back, one down the middle, and one on either side, and we can mount that on our short page. And if you'd like, we can mount that together. My page 11 is not dry yet, so here we go. Steer clear of that score line. So bring it all the way over to where your scallops are. Leave yourself a border top and bottom. And then we just place it. And make sure that's down really good. Okay, we are now on page 13, the back side. And that is very easy. Alrighty, in your reserves you will find a small piece that looks like this. On the back it has this. Do not get it confused for this larger one. We're looking for the short one. And it measures 4 1/4 inch wide by 6 inches tall. This short page on the back here, this is all we're going to do is mount this so that we have a spot to just plant a nice size photo. Very easy. So let's apply our score tape to the back like we just did our other one, and we'll mount that in our book. We are now on our final page, page 14. Let's drag this out. We set it off to the side for our page 14. In your reserves, you will find a couple pieces. You will find this piece, which is blue on the back, and it is 4 1/2 inches wide by 6 inches long. We'll need that. And you'll also find this one. It's 4 1/2 inches wide, and it is about 6 7/8 of an inch long. So with both of these, let's just double them up. Measure over 5 7/8 of an inch and cut. Set these off to the side. Let's get some cardstock. 2 pieces of cardstock that are 6 inches by 5 1/2 inches. Okay, we've got all our pieces here ready. We will be done in no time. And then we'll do our Dritz side closure, finish up on that. Alrighty. So we are 5 1/2 inches across our paper at 4 5/8 of an inch score, and at 4 3/4 of an inch score. And we're going to do the same thing on this one. 4 5/8 and 4 3/4. Let's fold on our score lines. Alright, this is a very simple page. So the first one is you have an inner score line and an outer score line. On the outer one here where our flap is, let's pinch, slide it on, and we are going to attach this. Once you have it in place where it's supposed to be, pinch it, and let's tack that down. Okay, let's move this back. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. On the outer score line, let's pinch, and we're going to attach this one as well. So line it up, make sure it's even with where it's supposed to be. Pinch it, and let's tack that down. Okay, let's fold this back on the other one, so when we fill on the sides it should be flat. Let's open this one up, and we will grab a magnet, and we will place it about 1/4 of an inch in from the side. Okay, let's grab our paper, and we have another one here. So for this one, because the left is going to go over the right, let's apply glue to this. Make sure you're fitting. If you need to do a little trimming, do so, but I'm fitting, and we'll glue that down. And we will glue this one down in just a moment. We're going to have to find the mate to get it back on there of where it needs to go. And as a matter of fact, we can do it now before gluing that sheet down. Okay, so the magnets that I have are very strong. So I'm going to place it on top of the other one, put a glued glob, and bring it over. Make sure I'm lining up, tap, and now I know where it needs to go. Now, one thing is because they are so strong, is once you place this down, you don't want to bring this one back over magnet to magnet. Chances are it's going to tear it right off the page. So that's why we need to apply glue to this now, and then we can place it. So I got that down. Let's open this up. So what the back one, the back page is going to be is pretty much just placing your photos for easy placement. Alright, in your reserves, let's grab this right back out. Measure over 4.5 inches and cut. Measure over again 4.5 inches and cut. Place your leftover in your reserves. Double these up. Measure over 5 7/8 of an inch and cut. Before gluing these down, verify that they are going to fit inside there without interfering with your inner score, and mine do. So I'm going to glue those down. Okay, I got mine down. Let's just close this up and see how we fit. That looks good. Reserves, let's drag this out. We're going to cut this one out. Then we're going to mount it to white cardstock, and then we will cut around it. Okay, grab a scratch piece of cardstock. Just kind of slide it right on underneath there. We're only going to put a little bit of glue right here, and not underneath this edge, and definitely not under this. So that will allow us to be able to slide a picture right in there. So I'm going to start right about here, and I can wipe up any glue that seeps out, and I'm going to place this. Okay. I'm going to grab this butterfly, and I'm going to put him right here. And then I'm going to add some of my crystal stickles to him. Okay, this page is complete. When it is dry, flip it over, score tape around the outside, 1 and 2 on either side, and then we will mount this in our book. Alrighty, so we have our pages in now, a short page. One thing I did go back and do is put the crystal stickles around this, since I did put it around this one. Alrighty, it is time to attach our Dritz. Okie dokie, we are ready to finish up by attaching this. And you will also need lace. I'm going to use my stretch lace on this. So I am going to just cut, probably about 11 inches. Start with maybe 12 inches, I would say, and then you can trim it up. Also, let's grab a butterfly for the back of our album. I grabbed a cream one. Alright, first things first, and if you're not using a stretch, that's fine, you don't have to. If you are not using a stretch, then you will make sure that you don't cinch your album tight when we are attaching this. So all I'm doing right now is I have the eye, the hook is underneath, and I went up through it, and I'm going to go down the other side and pull it through. And sometimes on these Dritz it kind of gets out from the little eye there, and you might want to use a little pliers to shut those better. Okay, so I have this going on right here. I'm going to stand my album up and I'm going to hook it on. I like to use hot glue because it's quick drying. So all I'm going to do, especially because I have this stretch, is I'm going to pull it. And I still have picture mats, so I definitely don't want to cinch it short. We want room in here to get in our picture mats. So once you figure out how much room you want, I usually pinch it over here to hold it. And then, while I'm still holding it, I'm going to peel this back and I'm going to put a little hot glue. And I lost my other side, but that's okay. I'm going to put this back over here and bring it around. And that's plenty of room. So just make sure you are secure here with some glue. If you want to use your regular glue and then use a binder clip, you can. Okay. And if you don't like the tails, you can definitely clip them off. I need to sharpen my scissors. Okay. So I hope you can see. Maybe not. Make sure you can. So I've got some tails here. You kind of curl over. I'm going to add some hot glue and I'm just going to glue the butterfly on. Probably this way. If you don't want to use a butterfly, then use a flat back pearl. Okay, so the back of my album is done. And if this was your first album making it, pat yourself on the back. You have just made yourself a gorgeous album for your first time. Okay, so the next album that I do, I'm going to be using the Stamperia, the Shabby Rose, I believe it's called. And I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, remember you can always ask. So happy crafting, everybody, and I will see you real soon.